If you ever spend hours cleaning, sampling, visualizing research data, you know how draining it gets. But with AI, the entire process takes minutes and the accuracy oftentimes just improves. In this video, we'll cover the basics of using AI for data analysis. From exploring columns and spotting anomalies, to interpreting patterns and generating statistical insights. I'll show you how AI tools help researchers to get from raw data to meaningful insights. Faster, more reliably, and with better reasoning. But there is one common mistake researchers make when they first analyze their data with AI. And it can distort every conclusion. Let's start right there. Hi, my name is Aynur. I'm a third-year PhD student in chemical engineering at Imperial College London, and I made it my mission to teach you every secret I know in academia, video by video, through all my social media channels. So let's start right away with the video. So what is it that AI can do? I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. AI can look at your data columns and do sampling. So it can pick certain data points as samples for your next model. It can also spot anomalies. So let's say you have your entire data set and you want to look at, okay, what points stand out, what are anomalies. You have this in every experiment where you just cross out points because you say, okay, this can clearly not be true. We have to take this out of the data set. Let's start with the question, why do we even want AI for data analysis? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. First of all, you save a lot of time by doing that. It's your assistant, it's your right hand on getting work done. But also, if you're new to data analysis and you have no clue on how to get started as a young academic, then this is a great tool using AI to teach you as a tutor and then help you as an assistant to get the data analysis done. So all in all, it's a very effective way to sort through all that data. So now we're going to look at different scenarios and I'm going to give you some example prompts and ideas on how you can use that for your own research. The first thing we're going to look at is data interpretation capabilities. So how can AI help you with interpreting data that you have? First of all, it can explore your data set column by column and go through it and sample everything and, look at all the columns. It can also find outliers super fast. You have this with experimental data all the time, that some of the data points are just outliers, they don't make sense, you need to get rid of them. They are due to measurement errors or something, but they do not represent reality. So finding these outliers in a huge chunk of data can be very daunting, but like with AI, you can just spot them immediately, get rid of them immediately. It's also great to understand context. So let's say you're using a measurement instrument like a chromatography measurement or some sort of thing that just gives you a CSV file, a huge chunk of data, and then you have no clue what is, and you don't know like how to deal with all these columns, and then AI gives you a great overview and explains to you and says this row is for that, this column is for this, and this column does that, and overall you can use this for that, right? So again, having like this teacher, this assistant who just breaks it down for you. And finally, with data, oftentimes you have like this repetitive manual work that you need to get done, whether it's cleaning up rows and cleaning up sheets or sorting them or doing like all this manual work. And this is something where AI can just automate it, and then you just having to do the same procedure for every single set of experiments that you do. So to give you an example, let's say you just did an experiment and now you get rows and rows, thousands of rows of data. So all you have to do is upload that to AI. You don't even need like the exact values, just like the row and how it's set up and the measurement device that you use. And then with AI, it will immediately break down what each row, each column means, how you can use it, and that's that, done. You instantly have an overview of your data. Another example, let's say you want to do a data quality check. The old way would be to go through your raw data and then to find samples and look at them and check whether the quality is good. With AI, you can just prompt and say, pick 5 samples out of these data points and plot them, and let's analyze whether they're good. And that way you immediately get samples from your data, you can have a quick look at it, decide whether the data quality is good, and then continue with your work. Hours saved. You can also ask something like check weird patterns or errors, and then it might say, there is a spike in your curve at this time, that looks quite off, and this all gives you a signal, oh, I did a measuring mistake there at this point. Whereas before that, you wouldn't probably even see that in your raw data immediately while you're in the process of collecting data. This would pop out much, much later when it's already too late, and then you have to redo the entire set of experiments. Moving on to point number 2, cleaning and processing, and this is amazing. So while previously you had to write code to remove noise, fix missing values, reformat columns, and obviously it would require programming skills. Now what you can do is just ask AI to clean up your data. You can say remove obvious errors, smooth out fluctuations, standardize my units, and AI will handle this conversationally without any kind of coding needed. Problem solved. When we move on to number 3, analysis and interpretation, this is how AI helps you with that. You can ask AI to compare results between groups. So let's say you have different sets of data for different sets of group. AI can do the comparing part of that and compare and contract these two groups. And you can ask it to explain these patterns for you in plain English so that you understand what your results are. So as a plain example, you could say compare group A with group B, and then AI can say that group A's average values are higher, but it's more volatile than group B. And from that, you can then build on and draw your own conclusions on what that means for your research. So essentially, AI becomes a collaborator in your work, not just a tool. You talk with it back and forth, you look at your data set, and it just helps you to fix all the problems that you have with your data, really. Now, I think the greatest part is how empowering it is. So you don't need to know programming, you don't need R or Python to get beautiful plots and graphs or do statistical analysis. You can do this all just with chatting with your AI agent. And just chat with it back and forth. It will write the R code for you, it will write the Python code for you. But the important part is that you still obviously take ownership of that, try to understand the code, try to understand the data. That goes without saying. It's your assistant, you're still the boss, you have to lead it to the right direction. But in terms of empowerment, in taking off that fear that you have towards statistics, towards data analysis, it takes it off. It breaks it down into bite-sized pieces. It empowers you to do that and that you can do it on your own. Alright, and that sums up my video on how to do data analysis using AI. I hope you found this video useful. If so, make sure to engage with this video, leave a like, share it with someone who needs this, and leave a comment, because this channel is quite new, quite small, so every engagement helps to make this channel better and produce better videos for you guys. Apart from that, I hope you're doing well wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!